Hi, guys. I am looking for my fellow warriors, people who are willing to help in the fight against cancer, sickle cell, HIV, all those terminal diagnoses that have seemed to have left our entire psyche ever since the COVID monster came to town. My name is Daryl Radford. A lot of people know me as Reverend Daryl. And you may address me whatever way makes you feel most comfortable. I'm here to introduce to some and reintroduce to others Dry Eyes of Innocence organization. I've released a book with the same name entitled Dry Eyes of Innocence. Though the names are the same, the meaning and purpose is completely different. The book is named Dry Eyes of Innocence because it tells a tale of many of ours where our eyes are forced to tell a story that really isn't ours. Though it's not always intentional. Please let me reiterate that. It's not always intentional. There are some learned behaviors that tend to make us do that. For instance, you may see someone and ask a simple question such as, "How are you doing?" And their response would generally be looking you directly in your eyes and say, "I'm doing fine" or "great." And then they would go home to deal with the mess that's really on their mind. People do this all the time without even realizing it, okay? Anyway, the organization has its name because when given a terminal illness diagnosis, the first thing that most people do is cry. The real questions come after the tears dry, and then the questions become, what do I do now? Which is where Dry Eyes comes into play. Innocence comes from the viewpoint that most people don't ask for cancer. Most people don't ask for sickle cell, HIV, or anything else deemed hurtful, chronic, or terminal. We help people with terminal illness diagnoses and their families, their loved ones, or their support team with coping mechanisms. As an organization, we're designed to help bridge the gap between terminal illness diagnoses and mismanagement of circumstances by educating any and all with coping mechanisms from a spiritual and a mental standpoint. Please understand that I am not trying to get anyone to convert to any type of religion. What I am trying to do is make sure that you understand that I'm going to always come from a place of biblical knowledge and personal experience, okay? With that being said, what we do offer is we offer what's called family guidance sessions. We offer teaching workshops to various churches and grief and loss ministries so that they can provide the same services to members of their congregation. Our organization was actually started in 2007 in Dayton, Ohio. We opened an office in Charlotte, North Carolina in 2014. And the great thing about our services that we provide is that we're willing to come to your home. We're willing to come to your home, come to your church, come to your office, or you can come to our office. Basically, whatever is the most convenient place to convene with your entire team of loved ones, your family, or like I said before, your support system. I keep saying your support system because a lot of times, and I'm just going to be honest with you, your family is not always going to be the ones who are going to support you the most. Okay, there's sometimes the next door neighbor, your buddy from the service, or it's just a lot of people around who love on you differently than your family does, and we all need all those different kinds of love. Please understand that doctors have been given the task to find and diagnose whatever the ailment or issue that brought you into their presence in the first place. So with that understanding, there also comes the next step in that process, which is the prognosis in the case of terminal illness diagnosis. That prognosis often comes back in grim and reality-based information that can devastate the outlook on what a person sees as their future. When a professional says to you that you have 3 to 6 months to live, life all of a sudden looks a little bit different to most people. Now I have to figure out the question, why me? What did I do to deserve this? Could I have avoided it in any kind of way? And the most important question of all is, what do I do now? Please know that we understand that almost every person goes through a shutdown or a grief stage where this literally, where they literally address every step of the grieving process, okay? But that's where we come in and help you answer the question, what do you do now? Okay? We have partnered with quite a few entities and organizations, and I highly recommend the Be the Match Foundation. Highly recommend community blood centers, Red Cross, because our goal is not only to address the issues, but also to be able to provide solutions. With me being 100% transparent, I have sat on the board for the Red Cross. I've been a volunteer ambassador for the Be the Match Foundation. I've also done some of the same things for the Community Blood Center. And I don't care who's competing against who. All I know is these things are what's needed in the community to help our people who are suffering from these diagnoses. Like I said before, our goal is not only to address the issues, but to be able to provide some solutions, okay? I'll be broadcasting on a regular basis some of the mechanisms that God gave me and that I've personally witnessed over the last 15 years of actually being pushed into my purpose. When I say that because I have a brother who was diagnosed with leukemia, a sister who was diagnosed with HIV/AIDS, and it really caused me to ask the question, which one of these terminal diagnoses is more important? And the truth is, when the doctor tells a person that they're going to die, it really doesn't matter what the diagnosis is. Only thing that they hear is, I'm going to die. So my purpose became very clear to me when I acknowledged the fact that I had been helping people for many, many years to get through these same types of situation with a great sense of sympathy. But having it happen in my family helped me to turn that sympathy into more empathy. And those are the things that that really helped me to be able to come to a place to where I could really address some pressing issues right now. But you can actually do your part also by helping us in a number of different ways. Okay, you can help first of all by subscribing to my channel and sharing some of your real life stories of victory to help encourage others. I would love to have you appear on one of our broadcasts, just kind of share your testimony of how you or your loved one made it over. I'd like to create a series of real life examples of how you were diagnosed and or had a prognosis of this, and it turned out to be that. You can also help by donating to our cause via PayPal or Cash App to assist some of the families that's unable to afford our services. The truth is, we have as a goal the ability to serve anyone, anywhere for no charge. But the truth of the matter is, it takes a minute to get to that place, okay? So until then, we need your help. Praying that God would continue to richly bless you and your family, and that you would learn to love, okay? That's our motto, is learn to love. Please understand that we need each other. That's why God has us all on this earth. Look out for upcoming videos from me. They're going to give you a lot of these coping mechanisms that we were talking about earlier. We're going to help people to overcome. We're going to help you know how to talk to your family member that that does not have a clue what to say, when to say it, how to say it, because people always say the wrong thing. Let me give you one thing that people say that's always wrong, and then I'm going to let you go for this moment. People always have a tendency to say, I know how you feel. You don't. You never know how a person feels. Even though you may have lost your brother just like they've lost their brother, you don't know how they feel because everybody has different relationships with different people at different times. Okay, so let me just say that to you as a first tip. Please learn to love. God bless you. Have a great day.